you told me you wanted to get a divorce like 20 times today. Yesterday.
I still want that.
Then go. Then
Yes,
yeah,
I'm
go,
going
go,
to
go,
go.
go, 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 go.
Mahmood has had enough. After just 3 days in the States, he wants a divorce and he wants to go home. He's ready to flee. This experience has made him realise what he and Nicole have just isn't enough.
I feel she's changed a lot since I come here. Love is not enough for marriage, I think. Somehow I think it's over now.
Now, before we dive into where their love stands today, if you can even call it that, let's rewind to the start. So we left Mahmood storming out of Nicole's apartment after she spent the night being horrible to him. After screaming "get out" to him multiple times, Nicole then had the audacity to be shocked when Mahmood actually left, and she turned to her friend Julian, desperately begging for help.
Hey, it's busy street, dude. Chill out. See that? Stop. Just stop. I get it. But look at this. Just chill.
Okay,
Can we sit down?
Now, Nicole asked Julian to get involved, and Julian seems to be taking his role as some sort of solemn vow, because he's now running after Mahmood, trying to stop him from walking across a very busy multi-lane road. He's trying to calm Mahmood down. But when you're as mad as Mahmood is and all you want to do is get away, having someone physically try to restrain you is infuriating.
Just sit down. Sit down. I'll leave you alone. Just sit down.
I just want
Just sit down.
The only thing I think about, I want to go out from this home.
You've got to feel for Julian here. I mean, this is all proving far too much for the guy. He literally has tears streaming down his face as he waits for Mahmood to calm down. It's hard to watch, but beyond that, it's hard to believe that Nicole has put her friends in this position the very first time they've met her husband. She's really asking a lot of Julian. The poor guy did not expect to be thrust into a storyline like this. And in the same way that Julian's finding it all too much, Mahmood is also trying to process what on earth just happened.
But after she yelling at me, this is the second time she asked me to leave. And now I feel like she means that.
Yeah, but if we go by that rule, Mahmood's told Nicole that he wants a divorce multiple times. Does he really mean it? Well, he should, because no matter what Julian says, Mahmood needs to walk this off. So he heads down the street alone.
I've done nothing but try as hard as I can to make this work. I've traveled to Egypt, I don't even know how many times. So when Mahmoud started to pack his bags to go, I feel like, when does he have to try?
Nicole feels like she's done all she can. She's tried as hard as she can in this relationship. Now, in her opinion, it's Mahmood's turn. But she's not really giving him a chance. I mean, the guy's been in the States for 48 hours. All they've done in that time is eat some donuts, go to Santa Monica Pier, and fight. Like, Nicole has these absurd expectations that perhaps deep down, she knows that Mahmood will never be able to satisfy. Perhaps that's why she's acting as bizarrely as she is. And even she's beginning to see just how odd her behaviour has been.
I really regret saying anything to him when we got back. I should have just let the night be like a fun night for everybody. Instead, it turned into like drama, and I feel terrible about it.
It's good to know that Nicole's not a total psychopath. At least she does have the ability to feel regret. Like, sorry, but there's just no other way to see this. What she did was so out of line. She literally brought her friends to the only safe space that Mahmood has in LA, then made them watch as she attacked him. It's hard to come back from a betrayal like that. But now, all of a sudden, Nicole's pretending like she's concerned about Mahmood's welfare.
What?
So can you tell me your plan, please?
I'm not going back.
I need you to tell me what you're gonna do.
So you're going to stay at a hotel?
Where? What hotel?
Mahmood is done with Nicole's demanding tone. Sure, he might not know where he is or what he's doing yet, but in his mind, she asked him to go, so why does she now care? Why does she need to know what he's doing? His intention is to go and book a hotel room for tonight, and everyone agrees that that is probably for the best. Like, from what we've seen, Nicole really can't seem to help herself. She's continuously swiping at him, and that's only gonna get worse if he comes back.
This is a pretty bad situation. I mean, everything is just like chaos at this point. Where's he gonna go? He doesn't even know anything about like the streets of LA. It's really late.
Is Nicole serious? She claims that she's worried about him because he's never left Egypt, which, okay, is fair enough. But he's also a 31-year-old grown-ass man. He has a phone, he has Google, he has the production team there with him. He really doesn't need to be treated like a kid. I'm sure he can find and book his own hotel.
I just need like Uber, please, like somebody.
We can take you there.
I feel she's changed a lot since I come here. She knows that same person.
So the producers whisk him off to his hotel, leaving Julian, I guess, silently crying on the sidewalk. The poor guy's now gonna have to go back and face Nicole's wrath. Look, there's no denying that Nicole's whole personality, her entire demeanour, has been very, very different this season. Was Egypt stifling her that much that we never really got to see the real her last time? Is this mean, argumentative, unhappy lady the real Nicole?
Love is part of this life. It's not everything. Love is not enough for marriage, I think. Somehow I think it's over now.
Love isn't enough, but did these guys even have love in the first place? Have we seen them share a single loving moment that isn't in some way tarnished by a fight or an argument? Well, when we join Mahmoud the next day after a good night's rest, he heads to a cafe in the flip-flops that he apparently stormed out in last night, and he orders himself a tea. And for once, he's actually surprisingly insightful about Nicole's behaviour.
I'm trying to think why Nicole act like that. Are she afraid like I change her life here, or she do that because she don't love me anymore? I don't know.
Instead of being defensive, Mahmoud actually contemplates how Nicole's behaviour, her acting out, might be because of some kind of deeper feeling of discomfort. He might be right. I mean, we can all feel that Nicole's personality has changed. Maybe that does come from discomfort. Maybe she's scared that her life that she loves so much in LA is gonna be turned upside down by Mahmoud's arrival. It will have to change. She will have to compromise. It's unrealistic of her to expect Mahmoud to somehow just neatly slot into the life that she already has.
I'm still like love here, but somehow I feel like I can't be with here. But like I'm still would love to see if like things can fix or not.
It's crazy that it's taken Mahmoud 4 years to feel this way. How is it that he's only now realising that he can't be with Nicole? Like, every single time we see these two interact with one another, it becomes more and more obvious that neither of them wants to change, so nothing will change. They're stuck in Groundhog Day, and it's at this point that Mahmoud calls Nicole to figure out where they go from here.
I feel so sad about everything you did last night.
Well, maybe I was just mad at you, Mahmoud.
So, what exactly happened to Nicole feeling guilty about last night? Yeah, that guilt was very short-lived, because once again, Nicole goes on the attack. She's ready to tear Mahmoud down, in what I presume is an attempt to validate her abusive behaviour from the night before. She tells Mahmoud all the things he's done wrong, but she really doesn't know when to stop.
So since you got here, you've done nothing but cause problems for me. You spent $300 on my credit card for the hotel.
I was trying to use this money.
$300 for a one-night stay? Ouch. Like, I know LA is expensive, but yeah, there must have been cheaper options than that. Kind of feels like Mahmoud may have been taking some revenge with that one. But at the same time, giving him the benefit of the doubt, we did see how desperate he was. His only thought in that moment was to get the hell out of there. So perhaps he just booked the first hotel he saw. But wherever the truth lies, the thing is, Nicole isn't yet done trying to hurt Mahmoud. She's determined to get a reaction from him.
For the last 3 days, you've done nothing but cause problems. And you know what else? For the last 4 years, that's all you've done, actually.
Ouch. That one must have really hurt, because Mahmoud just sits there speechless. He has absolutely nothing to say to Nicole except that he wants to come by and pick up his stuff. And if we didn't know better, this would actually feel like a genuine breakup. Now, Mahmoud reveals that he knows that Nicole says hurtful things when she's sad, but it seems like her attacks are getting a bit too personal lately.
He vanished with the cell phone and my credit card. He chose to go and spend $300, not of his own money, of mine. With all the other stuff that has happened, I'm just feeling like 100% disrespected.
Why is Nicole trying to make out like Mahmoud intentionally left with her credit card, as if he's some kind of thief? He's already made it clear he's gonna pay her back for the hotel. Yet somehow, Nicole is trying to switch the narrative and make out like she's the one that's been disrespected here.
Some part of me wants things to work, and another part of me just wants him to just go. But I don't want anything bad to happen to him. He's been on his own all day in a city he doesn't know anything about.
Yeah, and he's spent the day sipping on tea and sitting in the sunshine, Nicole. Probably the best day he's had since he's arrived, to be fair. Her saying that she feels worried about him feels like bull. Okay, maybe she's a little tiny bit concerned, but I think there's a much deeper feeling at play that she just doesn't like Mahmoud away from her. She doesn't like him being in her country without her being able to control his every move. Now, eventually, Mahmoud makes his way back to their apartment, and when he steps inside, it's awkward. Very, very awkward.
How are you?
Fine. How are you?
I'm good.
Who are you kidding? Neither of you guys are good. But both of you are very, very stubborn. Nicole looks down at what Mahmoud's wearing on his feet and says, "You wore those?" Almost with an air of disgust. Yes, Nicole, he did wear those. Which just goes to show how much of a rush he was in to get out last night. And after waiting for what seems like an eternity with neither of them saying a word, Mahmoud walks over to his belongings and begins to pack. But the fact that he does this just makes Nicole more and more angry. You see, she was hoping that they may be able to sit down and have a conversation, sort things out. But sorry, Nicole, the time for talking has well and truly passed. Mahmoud tried talking on the phone earlier, and you replied by telling him he'd been a burden on your life for the last 4 years. He's heard all he needs to hear. He's done talking now.
It's strange to me that he doesn't have any desire to want things to be better. So I don't know if he's doing all of this stuff so he can go back to Egypt because he misses Egypt so much, or if he just hates me at this point, or what.
Okay, Nicole, but flip that back on yourself. Is Nicole acting this way because she wants Mahmoud to go back to Egypt? She's been so overboard since he arrived. She's tried controlling him, scolding him, deliberately picking fights, trying to test his boundaries, trying to get him to drop everything she knows is important to him in order to fit into her lifestyle. And frankly, it's all been a disaster. So, as Mahmoud gets ready to leave, Nicole tries to catch him out.
There are a couple of things I need.
Yes, I'm ready for them.
Really?
Yeah. This is your card. And this is the one I used yesterday, the money.
Her face is all pinched, almost as if she's expecting Mahmoud to fight about keeping her card. But remember, he has already agreed to pay her back. And when Mahmoud returns what isn't his, she seems shocked. She says, "Really?"
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know what she's expecting. I don't know what kind of thieving arsehole she's trying to paint Mahmoud out to be. But I think it says all you need to know that this is what she thinks of him.
What are you doing?
I will go find some hotel to stay.
You act like you've been here in LA like for 20 years or something. You can just, go and get a hotel room.
Is Nicole okay in the head? Does she really think that someone needs to live in a city for 20 years before they have the ability to book a hotel? It really does make me wonder how much of her own experience, her time in Cairo, her inability to adapt to life over there is now colouring how she expects Mahmoud to be. But that's just not the case. He's not as helpless as she seems to think he is. And even as he's preparing to leave, somehow they still find enough time to sneak in yet another fight.
But then I did tell you to stay.
After what you did around your friend,
You didn't go and meet them, which is so messed up.
and this is why you should go say all this to me around your
No.
friend?
Sorry, Nicole, but that's not accurate. You didn't tell him to stay. You repeatedly shouted no while waving your finger in his face, then attempting to grab his suitcase away from him. Not quite the same thing, is it? Now, should Mahmoud have just sucked it up and gone with you to meet your friends earlier in the night? Yes, he should. But did his not going warrant all of this? No, I'm sorry, it did not.
You're the one who told me you wanted to get a divorce like 20 times today.
Yes.
Yesterday.
And I still want that.
Then go. Then
Yes, I'm
go.
going to
Go.
And we're back to Groundhog Day again. We're back to Mahmoud telling Nicole he wants a divorce and Nicole telling him to leave her apartment. Only this time he's actually allowed to pack his bags. There's something about that D word, divorce, that seems to constantly trigger Nicole into these fits of rage. But is this fight really the end for these two?
Our relationship is over and I'm leaving here.
So where are you?
Leave me, I'm not going back. Leave me that. Like this time, I'm not going back ever there.
Nicole feels bad one minute, but then acts cruel the next. Mahmoud is insightful about Nicole's behaviour one minute, then the next minute seems to not really care about why she's doing what she's doing. What's really interesting and very strange is that when they're apart, their relationship seems much healthier than when they're physically together. Somehow being in the same room together makes them both lose all sense. And just like Mahmoud said, sometimes love really isn't enough.